Eliza Brennan's boot hit the dying man's ribs before her mind caught up. Not a kick, a test. His chest rose, fell, rose again. Around her, the town of Copper Creek stood frozen, 20 good Christian souls watching a father die in the snow while his children screamed. She'd buried 5 babies with these same hands, buried her husband alone. She'd be damned if she buried this man too. Not while his kids were watching. Not today. Before we begin, subscribe and follow this story to the end. Comment your city so I can see how far our story travels. Tau, December 1877. Copper Creek, Montana Territory. The snow fell silent that morning. The kind of cold that turned spit to ice before it hit the ground. Eliza Brennan stepped out of Marsh's general store receipt for timber nails crumpled in her fist. The town square was empty. Good. She'd timed it that way. Get in, get supplies, get out before the Sunday church crowd started their judging. Then she heard the scream. A child's scream. The kind that turns your blood. She dropped the nails. They scattered across the frozen boardwalk. Across Main Street, 2 small figures knelt in the snow. The boy shook a man's shoulder. The girl couldn't be more than 6, screamed for her papa. Eliza's boots hit the street before the last nail stopped rolling. The man lay face down in the mud where the snow had melted to brown slush. She knew him. Owen Hartley, the rancher who lived 4 miles south. Widower, 2 kids, worked himself like a dog since his wife died. A crowd formed, but they stood back, safe distance, watching. "Someone help him," Mrs. Brennan from the general store called. She didn't move. "Ain't proper," someone muttered. "Widow woman touching a man." Eliza dropped to her knees. Her skirt hit the icy mud. She pressed 2 fingers to Owen Hartley's throat. Pulse thread thin, skin burning hot despite the cold. "You." She pointed at the blacksmith. "My wagon. Now." He looked at the others. "I said now." Her voice cracked like a whip. He moved. She looked at the boy. Maybe 9 years old, eyes too old for his face. "What's your name?" "Jamie." His voice shook. "Is my papa?" "Not if I can help it, son." The little girl grabbed Eliza's sleeve. "Don't let papa die. Please don't let him die." Eliza met those eyes. Saw herself at 6 years old. Saw every loss she'd ever known. "I won't, child." The blacksmith brought the wagon. Eliza and he lifted Owen Hartley. His body was dead weight, fever hot. They laid him in the wagon bed. The children climbed in without being told. Jamie cradled his father's head. Lily pressed against her brother. Eliza gathered the reins. A man stepped forward. Tall. Black suit despite the mud. Cyrus Wolfe. Owned the bank, the store, half the town. "Mrs. Brennan." His voice was smooth. Cold. "Taking a man to your cabin. Unescorted. That's a man's dying. Highly irregular. So is standing here talking while he does it." She snapped the reins, hard. The wagon lurched forward. Behind her the crowd murmured. She caught fragments. "Always been too wild. Husband's barely cold in the ground. What kind of woman?" Eliza didn't look back. She drove. The wagon wheels carved tracks through fresh snow. Behind her, Jamie Hartley whispered to his sister. Lily sobbed into his coat. 4 miles had never felt so long. Act 2. The Trap, 800 to 1800. Words, Owen Hartley woke to walls he didn't know. His head pounded. Every muscle screamed. Where was he? Then he heard it. Laughter. A child's laughter. Jamie's laughter. When was the last time he tried to sit up? The room spun. His stomach lurched. Easy. A woman's voice. Not gentle, firm. Eliza Brennan appeared beside the bed. She pressed a hand to his shoulder. Pushed him back down. Not rough, Not kind, just practical. You collapsed in town 3 hours ago. Fever's at 103. You've been awake 17 seconds, and you're already trying to get up. Lie down. My children are fine. Jamie's stirring stew. Lily's making dolls from corn husks. Both fed. Both warm. Both stopped crying about 10 minutes after we got here. Owen turned his head. Through the doorway he saw them. Jamie at the stove, wooden spoon in hand, face serious with concentration. Lily at the table humming while she twisted corn husks into shapes. Content. Safe. When was the last time they'd looked like that? I need to... He tried to sit again. Eliza pushed him back, harder this time. You need to drink this and shut up. She shoved a tin cup at him. He took it. The liquid inside was dark, bitter-smelling. What is it? Willow bark. For the fever. Drink. He drank. Tasted like boiled sadness. But it was warm. Outside, wind howled. The cabin shook. Snow battered the windows like thrown gravel. Storm hit right after we got here, Eliza said. We're trapped. 3 days. Maybe 4. Panic clawed up Owen's throat. I have to get back. The cattle already moved to my barn. Your cow, your horses, the chickens. Jamie helped. Jamie. Kid's got a good head. Told me what needed doing. We did it before the storm hit. Owen's throat went tight. I can't be here. People will what? Eliza's voice was flat, hard. Let your kids watch you die to save your reputation. That the plan. You don't understand. The town can go to hell. She stood, walked to the stove, poured herself coffee from a dented pot. Owen stared at the ceiling. Rough-hewn logs, no plaster. Working cabin, not fancy, but solid. He'd promised himself. After Kate died, after he'd failed her, failed to save her, he'd promised he'd never need another woman's help, never burden anyone, never prove he wasn't enough. But here he was, in a stranger's bed, while his children ate her food, burned her wood, took her charity. Proof, clear as day, he wasn't enough. Stop it, Eliza said. What? That thing you're doing, beating yourself up. I can hear it from here. You don't know. I know you worked yourself sick trying to be enough. I know you collapsed in front of your kids. I know if I hadn't been there, you'd be dead. She turned, met his eyes. Out here, we help or we die. Ain't about pride. Ain't about what's proper. It's about survival. You understand? Owen said nothing. Eliza set down her cup. Storm's not asking permission. Neither am I. You'll stay till it breaks, then you go. But while you're here, you'll rest. You'll heal. You'll let your kids have 3 days where they ain't scared their papa's gonna die. You owe them that. She walked out. The door shut behind her. Jamie appeared in the doorway. Pa, you awake? Yeah, son. Miss Eliza says we can stay till the storm stops. That okay? That's okay. Jamie smiled. First real smile Owen had seen in weeks. She's teaching me to cook stew. Says every man should know how to feed himself. That true? That's true. I like her pa. She don't treat us like we're broke. Broken, Owen thought. The word is broken. But he didn't correct his son. Night 1. Owen couldn't sleep. The fever broke around midnight, left him weak but clear-headed. He listened to the storm rage, listened to the cabin creak, listened to his children breathe soft and steady on their bedrolls by the fire. Through the crack in the door, he watched Eliza. She was outside. He could see her through the window splitting wood in the barn by lantern light. Snow blew sideways. She didn't stop, just kept swinging the axe, steady, tireless. Her hands were scarred. He could see that even from here. Years of hard work carved into her skin. Lily whispered from her bedroll, Pa. Yeah, baby. Is Miss Eliza gonna be our new mama? Owen's chest went tight. No, sweetheart. Why not? Because we're just borrowing her kindness. When the storm stops, we go home. I don't want to go home. Lily's voice was small. She braided my hair, Pa, just like Mama used to. And she didn't cry. Everybody else who tries to help us cries. Owen closed his eyes. Kate's voice echoed, her last words, whispered through blood-soaked sheets. Promise me you'll find them a mother. Someone kind. Someone who'll love them. He'd promised. But every woman Mrs. Brennan introduced him to looked at his kids like wounded animals. Pitied them. Pitied him. Eliza Brennan didn't pity anyone. Go to sleep, Lily. Okay, Pa. I like it here. It's warm. Jamie's voice came soft from his bedroll. Me too. Owen lay awake long after his children slept, watched Eliza through the window, watched her work, wondered what kind of woman chose to live alone in a cabin 4 miles from town. What kind of woman ran toward dying men instead of away? What kind of woman didn't cry? Day 2. The storm didn't break. It got worse. Owen woke to Jamie shaking his shoulder. Pa, the cow's in labor. He sat up too fast, his head spun. Where's Miss Eliza? Already in the barn. Owen pulled on his boots, grabbed his coat, stumbled outside into wind that tried to knock him down. The barn was warm compared to outside. The pregnant cow lay on her side in the straw, breathing hard. Eliza knelt beside her, hands on the cow's belly. Calf's breech, she said. Didn't look at Owen. Gonna lose them both if we don't turn it. Can you? Done it before. She rolled up her sleeves. Hold her head. Keep her calm. They worked by lantern light. Owen held the cow's head, murmured to her. Eliza's hands disappeared inside, feeling for the calf's position. Sweat ran down her face despite the cold. The cow bellowed. Easy, girl, Owen whispered. Easy now. An hour passed, then another. Eliza's arms shook. Her face was pale, but she didn't stop. Got it, she finally said. Here it comes. The calf emerged in a rush of fluid and membrane. Eliza cleared its nose, rubbed it hard with straw. Nothing. She rubbed harder. Come on, damn you. The calf gasped, coughed, breathed. The cow struggled to her feet, nuzzled her baby. The calf's legs wobbled. It stood. Eliza sat back in the straw. Her hands shook. Owen handed her a rag. She wiped her face, didn't look at him. You saved them, he said. Did my job. Most people don't know how. I'm not most people. She stood, walked to the barn door, stood there staring out at the storm. Her shoulders were tight. Her hands clenched at her sides. Eliza. Don't. Don't what? Don't ask, don't push. Just let it be. But Owen saw it, saw the tears on her face before she turned away. Saw them and didn't understand why saving a calf would make a woman cry. He didn't know yet. Didn't know about the 5 babies. The 5 times she'd held silent children. The 5 tiny graves behind the cabin. He'd learn, but not today. Today, they stood in the barn while snow buried the world outside. Stood with a newborn calf between them, alive because of her. Thank you, Owen said. Eliza didn't answer, just walked back into the storm. Day 3. The storm broke at dawn. Pale sunlight filtered through windows. The world outside was white, silent, new. Owen stood testing his legs, weak but steady. The fever was gone. We should go, he said. Eliza nodded. She packed food for them, bundled the children in extra blankets, moved efficient, professional, like a woman used to people leaving. Jamie hugged her, quick, awkward. Thank you, Miss Eliza. You're welcome, son. Lily grabbed Eliza's hand. Will we see you again? Eliza's face softened, just for a second. Reckon you will, child. Owen lifted Lily into the wagon, looked back at Eliza standing on the porch. Wanted to say something, didn't know what. I'll be back, he finally said. To repay you. Don't owe me nothing. I do. Then don't die of pride. That's repayment enough. He drove away. Didn't look back. Couldn't. Behind him, Jamie whispered to Lily. I liked it there. Me too. Owen said nothing. Just drove. The wagon wheels broke trail through virgin snow. His children were safe. That's what mattered. He'd survived. They'd survived. But something had shifted. Something he couldn't name yet. Couldn't face. The town came into view. Copper Creek. His home. His prison. He wondered if Eliza Brennan was watching them go. Wondered if she stood on that porch until they disappeared. He'd never ask, but he thought maybe she did. Act 3. The Debt. 1,800 to 2,800 words. 6 days passed. Owen tried to focus on work. The cattle needed feeding. Fences needed mending. Life didn't stop just because you'd spent 3 days in a stranger's cabin remembering what warm felt like. But his hands wouldn't cooperate. He'd be hammering a fence post, and suddenly he'd remember Eliza's hands disappearing inside the cow. Eliza's tears she didn't think he saw. Eliza standing in the barn doorway staring at nothing. Jamie asked about her every night. Can we visit Miss Eliza? We're not social people, son. We keep to ourselves. But she helped us. That's different. How? Owen didn't have an answer. Just went to bed angry at himself. On the 7th day he broke. He loaded his father's toolbox into the wagon. Added his best hammer. Drove 4 miles through snow that still came up to the wheel hubs. Eliza was on her porch when he arrived. Mending a bridle. Didn't look up when the wagon stopped. Came to repay you, Owen said. Told you, don't owe me. You need a new roof. Saw the leak over the kitchen. I'll get to it. When spring, he gestured at the snow. That's 4 months. You'll have rot by then. Eliza's hands stilled on the bridle. You don't owe me charity. Not charity. It's how things work out here. We help each other. I don't need help. Everyone needs help. I don't. Owen set down the toolbox. Then consider it payment for saving my life, for feeding my kids, for giving them 3 days where they weren't scared. You won't take money. Fine. Take this. Eliza stood, walked to the edge of the porch, looked at him for a long moment. Her eyes were gray, cold, guarded. One condition, she said. Name it. This makes us even. After you don't come back, you go back to your life, I go back to mine. No debt either way. Owen should have agreed. Should have said yes and kept his distance. But something in the way she said it, like she was desperate for him to agree, terrified he would made him hesitate. Even, he finally said. Then fix the roof. She went inside, shut the door. But Owen saw her watching through the window, saw her hands twist in her apron, saw something like fear on her face. He climbed onto the roof, started pulling up the rotted shingles. Tud. Below, Eliza stood at her kitchen window, watched Owen work. His movements were careful, skilled, like Declan's had been. Declan. Dead 2 winters. Shot by claim jumpers. She'd found him in the snow. Frozen. Alone. The town had whispered. She should have stopped him. Should have kept him safe. Like his death was her fault. Like love was supposed to be a leash. She'd learned then. Let no one close. Need no one. Survive alone. But watching Owen work made her chest hurt in a way she'd forgotten was possible. She crushed it down. Turned away from the window. In the corner, Declan's mining helmet hung on a nail. She'd kept it there. Reminder. Warning. Don't love again. Don't risk it. Don't survive losing someone else. Outside hammer blows echoed steady as a heartbeat. Jamie and Lily arrived around noon. Came running through the snow like puppies. Miss Eliza Papa said we could visit while he works. Eliza stepped onto the porch. Did he now? Owen climbed down from the roof. Thought they could help you with chores, if you need. Don't need help. Then they can sit and be quiet. I doubt that. Jamie grinned. I can stack firewood real good, and Lily can gather eggs. Chickens are mean today, Eliza warned. I ain't scared of chickens, Lily declared. Eliza almost smiled. Almost. Fine. Firewood's by the barn. Chicken coops out back. Don't get pecked. The children ran off. Eliza turned to go inside. Eliza. She stopped. Didn't turn around. Thank you, Owen said. For what? For not making them leave. Ain't their fault their father's stubborn. She went inside, but she watched through the window. Watched Jamie stack wood with careful precision. Watched Lily chase chickens laughing when they scattered. Watched them be children. Free. Happy. When was the last time she'd heard children laugh in her yard? Never. That's when. She'd never carried a child long enough to hear it laugh. She turned away from the window, went to her bedroom, pulled a small wooden box from under the bed. Inside 5 tiny knitted caps, 5 pairs of booties, 5 names carved on pieces of wood. Thomas, Michael, Catherine, Sarah, James, 5 babies, 5 funerals. 5 times she'd stood alone in the cemetery because the town said it was God's judgment, said she was cursed, said her womb was punishment for some sin. She closed the box, shoved it back under the bed. Outside, Jamie laughed. Lily squealed. Eliza pressed her forehead against the bedroom wall, closed her eyes. Don't get attached. They're not yours. They'll leave. Everyone leaves. Owen worked till sunset, got half the roof replaced. It was good work, solid, would last years. As he climbed down, Eliza stepped onto the porch. Supper's ready, if you're staying. We should get back. I made extra. Waste to throw it out. She went inside. Owen looked at his kids. They looked back with hopeful eyes. Please, Pa, Jamie asked. Owen sighed. 1 meal, then we go. They followed her inside. The cabin was warm. Stew bubbled on the stove. Fresh bread sat on the table. Nothing fancy. But it smelled like home. They ate. Eliza didn't talk much, but she listened. Jamie told her about school. Lily told her about the cat that hung around their barn. Owen said nothing, just watched. Watched how Eliza cut Lily's meat without being asked. Watched how she refilled Jamie's bowl before he could ask. Watched how she moved around her cabin like a woman used to doing everything herself. After supper, Lily brought out her cornhusk dolls. Miss Eliza, can you teach me to make hair for them? It's getting late, Owen started. I can show her quick, Eliza said. She sat at the table. Lily climbed into the chair beside her. Eliza's hands moved fast, precise, braiding corn silk into doll hair. Like this. See? You make it look easy. Practice, that's all. Lily worked on her doll, tongue between her teeth, concentrating. Owen watched, felt something crack open in his chest, something he'd kept locked tight since Kate died. Jamie leaned against him, whispered, She's good with Lily, Pa. Yeah, son, she is. Mama would have liked her, I think. Owen's throat closed. Yeah, I think she would have. They left when full dark came. Eliza walked them to the wagon. The night was cold, clear. Stars burned overhead like ice chips. Thank you for supper, Owen said. Told you, I made extra. I'll be back in a few days, finish the roof. Eliza's face closed. Thought we were even. Roof's not done. I'll finish it. You'll fall and break your neck. Then I'll die doing my own work. Better than owing. Owen looked at her. Saw the fear behind the pride. The walls she'd built brick by brick. I'm coming back, Eliza. Not because you owe me, because I owe you. And I pay my debts. He drove away before she could argue. Behind him, Lily said, I like Miss Eliza Pa. I know, baby. Do you like her? Owen didn't answer, but the silence said enough. Act 4. The Judgment. 2,800 to 3,800 words. Owen came back 3 days later, and 3 days after that, and 3 days after that. Each time he worked. Fixed the roof, mended fences, repaired the sagging barn door, split firewood till the pile was 10 feet high. Each time Eliza fed him, fed his kids, let them help with chores, let them laugh in her yard, let them fill the silence she'd been living in for 2 years. Each time they both pretended this was about debt, about payment, about anything except the truth neither would name. It was late March when Sunday came again. Owen stood outside the Methodist church. Jamie and Lily beside him in their Sunday clothes. Through the open door, he saw the congregation. Saw them sitting in their usual seats. Families together, respectable, proper. And in the back row alone, like always, Eliza Brennan. She sat straight-backed, chin high, but the space around her was empty. 3 feet on each side, like she carried plague. Owen's jaw tightened. Come on, kids. They walked up the steps. Mrs. Abigail Marsh, general store owner, town gossip, self-appointed guardian of morality, stepped in front of them. Mr. Hartley. A word. Owen looked at his children. Go inside. I'll be right there. They went. Owen turned to Abigail. That Brennan woman, Abigail said, voice low, urgent. People are talking. People always talk. You've been seen, at her cabin, multiple times, alone. I've been fixing her roof. Mr. Hartley. Abigail touched his arm. I understand loneliness, I do. But that woman, she's not appropriate for a man with children. She's too hard, too independent, too what? Set in her ways. You need a proper wife, someone soft, someone motherly. She smiled. Her teeth were white. Perfect. I've written to a widow in Denver. Lovely woman, educated, excellent with children. She arrives on the afternoon train next week. Owen's blood went cold. You did what? I'm helping you, dear man. Can't you see you need guidance? Your children need a proper mother. And Mrs. Brennan, well, everyone knows she's cursed. 5 dead babies, husband shot. Some women just attract tragedy. Owen stepped back, away from her hand, away from her smile. Don't write that widow again, he said, voice flat, cold. Don't speak about Eliza Brennan that way. Don't presume to know what my children need. Abigail's smile faltered. Mr. Hartley, we're done here. He walked inside. The church was full. Reverend Morrison stood at the pulpit, Bible open. The congregation settled into seats. Owen walked down the center aisle, past the respectable families, past Cyrus Wolfe in his black suit, past the miners and ranchers and shopkeepers. He reached the back row, reached Eliza. She looked up, eyes wide, surprised, scared. This seat taken, ma'am. Eliza's hands twisted in her lap. Been empty 2 years, Mr. Hartley. Then I reckon it's mine if you'll have me. He sat. The pew creaked. Around them the church went silent. Complete silence. The kind that drowns. Jamie and Lily scrambled from their seats 3 rows up. Squeezed into the pew. Lily grabbed Eliza's hand. Can I sit with you, Miss Eliza? Eliza looked at the little girl, at Owen, at the entire church staring at them. Yeah, child. she whispered. "You can sit with me." Reverend Morrison started his sermon. His text was loving thy neighbor, judging not. But his eyes kept drifting to Eliza. To Owen, cold, pointed. "We must ask ourselves," the Reverend said, "what example we set. In our choices, in our associations, in who we allow into our lives and the lives of our children." Murmurs rippled through the congregation. "Some claim charity," the Reverend continued, "claim Christian duty. But true charity must be proper, must be decent, must not cause others to stumble." Owen felt Eliza stiffen beside him, felt her preparing to leave, to stand and walk out and never come back. He reached over, took her hand. She froze. "Don't," he whispered. "Don't give them what they want. They want me gone. Then we stay." She looked at him, gray eyes searching. "Why?" "Because they're wrong, and we're not." Eliza's hand trembled in his, but she didn't pull away, didn't leave, just sat there while the Reverend preached judgment and the congregation whispered. Jamie leaned against her. Lily held her other hand. Owen kept his hand over hers, and for the first time in 2 years, Eliza Brennan wasn't alone in church. The service ended. People filed out fast, avoiding eye contact, rushing past like Eliza might be contagious. But one man stopped. Doc Sam Bridger, old country doctor, wife dead from consumption 3 years back. He'd tried to deliver all 5 of Eliza's babies. He shook Owen's hand, squeezed tight. "Took courage, son. Just sitting in church, Doc. You know it's more than that." Doc Sam looked at Eliza. "Mrs. Brennan, good to see you. Don't let them drive you out." "They've been trying for years, Doc. Ain't worked yet." Doc Sam smiled, sad, knowing. "Good. Keep fighting." He left. Outside, spring sun was warm. First real warmth since winter. Eliza breathed deep. Her shoulders loosened. Then a shadow fell across them. Cyrus Wolfe, tall in his black suit, face unreadable. "Mrs. Brennan, a word." Owen stepped forward. "Whatever you need to say. This is between me and Mrs. Brennan." Cyrus's eyes were cold, flat. "Your mortgage, ma'am. It's 3 months overdue." Eliza's face went white. "I'll have payment next month. The timber, I'm afraid next month won't do. I've been patient, but the bank requires payment within 30 days, or I foreclose." 30 days. Unless... Cyrus paused, smiled. It didn't reach his eyes. "Unless you'd consider my previous offer." Owen looked between them. "What offer?" Eliza's hands clenched. "Nothing. Marriage, Mr. Hartley. I offered Mrs. Brennan marriage, full debt forgiveness, respectability, security. All she has to do is accept." Owen's blood turned to ice. Cyrus turned to Eliza. "Think carefully, Mrs. Brennan. 30 days. Then your land is mine." He walked away. Owen turned to Eliza. "He proposed 2 weeks ago. Before you—" She stopped. "It don't matter." "The hell it doesn't. He's extorting you. He's within his legal right." "Eliza, don't." Her voice cracked. "Just don't." Jamie tugged Owen's sleeve. "Pa." "What's happening?" Owen knelt. "Nothing you need to worry about, son." But Lily looked at Eliza, at the tears Eliza was fighting. "Why is Mr. Wolfe so mean?" Eliza touched Lily's hair. "Because some men don't know how to be anything else, sweetheart." They drove Eliza home. The ride was silent. When they reached her cabin, she climbed down fast. "Thank you for the ride." "Eliza, wait." "I said thank you." She walked inside, shut the door. Owen heard the bolt slide home. Jamie looked up at him. "We're gonna help her, right, Pa?" Owen stared at the closed door. At the cabin that would be taken from her in 30 days. At the woman who'd saved his life and asked for nothing in return. Yeah, son, we're gonna help her. How? Owen didn't know yet, but he'd find a way. He had to. Act 5. The breaking 5,000 words. That night, Owen couldn't sleep. He lay in bed staring at the ceiling, thinking. 30 days. Eliza had 30 days. He could offer to pay her mortgage, but she'd refuse. Pride wouldn't let her take charity. He could offer collateral, put up his ranch as guarantee, but that would ruin him if she couldn't pay. His kids would suffer. The sensible thing was to let her go. Let her lose the cabin, move back east, find family, start over. The sensible thing was to marry the Denver widow, get financial stability, help Eliza as a neighbor, keep everything proper. The sensible thing was breaking his heart. Midnight. Someone pounded on his door. Owen grabbed his rifle, opened the door. Eliza stood there, snow in her hair, eyes wild. It's the mare. Your mare. She's foaling. Breach. I need help. Owen didn't ask questions, grabbed his coat, followed her to her barn. His pregnant mare, the one he'd moved to Eliza's barn during the storm, lay on her side, breathing hard, eyes rolling. The foal wasn't coming right. Owen and Eliza worked by lantern light. Her hands went inside the mare, feeling, searching, face set in concentration. Got the head? She said. But the legs are folded. Need to straighten them. Sweat ran down her face. The mare screamed, kicked, nearly caught Eliza in the ribs. Hold her, Eliza said. Owen grabbed the mare's head, held her down, whispered to her. Easy, girl, easy, let her help you. An hour passed. 2. Eliza's arms shook. Her face was gray with exhaustion. Come on, she whispered. Come on, damn you. Don't you die on me. The foal shifted. Eliza gasped. Got it. Here it comes. The foal emerged in a rush, membrane covered, still, too still. Eliza cleared its nose, rubbed it hard with straw. Breathe, breathe, baby, breathe. Nothing. She rubbed harder, desperate. Don't do this. Don't you dare. The foal gasped, coughed, breathed. The mare struggled up, nuzzled her baby. The foal's legs wobbled. It stood. Eliza sat back in the straw. Her whole body shook. And then she broke. Tears came, hard, ugly. 2 years of grief pouring out. Owen knelt beside her. Eliza? 5 times. Her voice cracked. 5 times I held dead babies, named them, buried them alone because the town said it was God's judgment, said I was cursed, said my womb was punishment. She looked at him, face wet, raw. This is the first time I've seen a birth that didn't end in death. Owen pulled her against his chest. She fought for a second, then collapsed, sobbed into his coat like a woman who'd forgotten how to cry. I'm so sorry, Owen whispered. God, Eliza, I'm so sorry. Declan wanted children so bad, and I kept losing them, kept burying them. And then he died and I was alone and everyone said it was my fault, said I killed them, killed him, said I was cursed and God was punishing me and I believed them, Owen. I believed them. You're not cursed. Then why? Why did they all die? Why did Declan die? Why does everyone I love? She stopped, clapped a hand over her mouth. Owen pulled back, looked at her. Everyone you love. Eliza shook her head, tried to pull away. I didn't mean... Eliza. He cupped her face, made her look at him. Everyone you love. She closed her eyes. Don't make me say it. Why? Because you'll leave. Everyone leaves. I'm not leaving. You will. When you realize I'm too broken, too hard, too cursed. You'll go, and I'll be alone again, and I can't. Her voice broke. I can't survive losing someone else, Owen. I can't. Owen's heart cracked clean open. You're not losing me. You don't know that. Yes, I do. He took her hands, held them tight. My wife's last words were, "Promise me you'll find them a mother." I promised. And I've been trying. Been looking for someone who looked right, acted right, someone proper and soft and everything the town says a mother should be. I'm none of those things. No, you're not. He smiled, sad, real. You're strong where I'm weak. You make my kids laugh. You don't need me for a damn thing, but you help anyway. You're not a replacement for Kate Eliza. You're the answer to her prayer. She wanted them loved. You love them. I do. Eliza's tears fell fresh. God help me, I do. And I love... She stopped. Couldn't say it. Owen said it for her. I love you too. Eliza looked at him, eyes wide, searching. You can't. You barely know me. I know you dove into freezing water to save my daughter. I know you worked 3 days to keep me alive. I know you cry for foals and dead babies, and you split wood in blizzards because you don't trust anyone to help you. I know you're the bravest, stubbornest, most beautiful woman I've ever met. And I love you. The town will crucify us. Let them. Cyrus will take my land. Then we'll fight him together. I'm not ready. Neither am I. He leaned his forehead against hers. But maybe being ready is a lie. Maybe we just choose and live with the consequences. The foal nursed. The mare stood guard. New life in a barn while snow fell outside. Eliza pulled back, looked at Owen for a long moment, seeing him, really seeing him. Then she kissed him, desperate, scared, full of 2 years of loneliness and loss and the terrifying hope that maybe she could love again without losing everything. Owen kissed her back, held her like she was the only solid thing in a world gone to chaos. When they broke apart, Eliza laughed, raw, real. We're idiots. Best kind. They'll destroy us. Then we'll build something new from the wreckage. Outside, dawn broke. Pink light spilled through the barn door. The storm had passed. The world was clean. White. New. Inside, 2 broken people held each other, choosing love over fear, choosing each other over safety. It wouldn't be easy. The town would fight. Cyrus would fight. Hell, they'd fight themselves half the time. But they'd do it together. And maybe that was enough. Owen drove home as the sun rose. Jamie and Lily were still asleep when he got there. He sat on the porch, watched the sunrise, felt different, lighter, terrified, alive. He'd made a choice. Now came the hard part, standing by it. A wagon appeared on the horizon, coming from town, fast. Owen stood, recognizing the driver. Doc Sam Bridger pulled up, climbed down. His face was grave. Owen, we need to talk. What's wrong? Cyrus, he's moving up the foreclosure. Not 30 days. 10. He filed emergency seizure papers yesterday. Claims Eliza's property is abandoned, not being maintained. He's got the judge's signature. Owen's blood ran cold. 10 days. I tried to stop him, but he's got leverage, owns half the town council. Doc Sam paused. There's more. He found out about you being at her cabin, multiple times, alone. He's using it, saying she's running a house of ill repute, that your children are being exposed to. That's a lie. I know. But the town council doesn't care about truth. They care about propriety, and Cyrus knows how to use that. Owen sat down hard on the porch steps. 10 days. Eliza had 10 days. What can I do? Doc Sam looked at him for a long moment. Marry her. What? Marry her. Today. Make it legal and proper. Then Cyrus can't use scandal as leverage. Her debt becomes your debt. You can negotiate. Buy time. She won't agree. Her pride. Then you better figure out how to convince her, because in 10 days she loses everything. And Cyrus Wolfe gets exactly what he wants Eliza Brennan with nowhere else to go. Doc Sam climbed back into his wagon. I'll stall Cyrus as long as I can, but you're running out of time, son. Make your choice, and make it fast. He drove away. Owen sat on his porch, watched the sunrise, thought about Eliza's face when she'd said, I can't survive losing someone else. 10 days wasn't enough time to heal 2 years of grief. Wasn't enough time to convince her that love was worth the risk. But it was all they had. He stood, walked inside, woke his kids. Get dressed. We're going to Miss Eliza's. Why? Jamie asked. Sleep blurred. Because we're going to ask her a question, and pray she says yes. Eliza was splitting wood when she saw the wagon coming. 3 figures. Owen and his kids. Sun barely up, and here they came, like the devil was chasing them. She set down the axe, wiped her hands on her apron. Her heart kicked against her ribs. Last night in the barn, the kiss, the confession, the terrifying admission that she loved him, felt like a fever dream in daylight. Owen pulled up, climbed down. His face was set, determined, scared. We need to talk. About last night. Cyrus moved up the foreclosure. 10 days, Eliza. Not 30. 10. The world tilted. He can't. He filed emergency seizure. Claims your property's abandoned. Not maintained. He's got the judge's signature. Eliza's legs went weak. She sat down hard on the porch step. 10 days. In 10 days, she'd have nothing. Nowhere to go. Owen knelt in front of her, took her hands. Marry me. She looked at him, at his face, at the fear and hope mixed there. What? Marry me. Today. Make it legal. Then Cyrus can't use scandal, can't claim impropriety. Your debt becomes mine. We can fight him together. Owen. I know it's fast. I know you're scared. Hell, I'm terrified. But we're out of time. Jamie stepped forward. Please, Miss Eliza. We don't want you to go. Lily grabbed her hand. Marry Papa. Then you can live with us forever. Eliza looked at the children, at their faces, at the hope there, the love. I can't ask you to ruin yourself for me, she said to Owen. If I can't pay, if the timber money doesn't come through, you'll lose your ranch. Your kids will suffer. Then we'll all suffer together, better than you suffering alone. That's not... Eliza. His voice was firm. I'm not asking you to let me save you. I'm asking you to save me, to save all of us. Because a family that fights together has a chance. A person fighting alone has none. She closed her eyes, felt tears coming. You don't love me. Not really. You think you do, but... Don't tell me what I feel. Owen's voice was gentle, hard. I've buried a wife, raised 2 kids alone, worked myself half to death trying to be enough, and I wasn't. Not until you. You make me better. Make my kids better. And if loving you is a mistake, then I'll make it gladly. The town will crucify us. Let them. Cyrus will fight dirty. So will we. Eliza looked at him. At this gentle, stubborn, broken man offering her everything he had. Offering her a choice, hide and lose or fight and maybe win. She thought about Declan's grave, about standing there alone for 2 years, about the 5 tiny graves behind the cabin, about all the death she'd survived. Maybe it was time to choose life. Okay, she whispered. Owen's eyes widened. Okay, I'll marry you, today, right now, before I lose my nerve. Jamie whooped. Lily threw her arms around Eliza's waist. Owen pulled her up, kissed her hard, desperate, relieved. We'll go to Doc Sam's, Owen said. He can marry us. Make it legal. I need to. Eliza looked down at herself. Work dress, mud on her boots, hair cropped short and uncombed. I look like hell. You look perfect. Owen touched her face. Let's go before Cyrus hears and tries to stop us. They climbed into the wagon, drove toward town. The morning sun was bright, cold. The snow sparkled like crushed diamonds. Eliza's hands shook. Owen reached over, squeezed her hand. You're sure? She asked. Terrified, but sure. That makes no sense. Welcome to marriage. Despite everything, the fear, the deadline, the disaster looming, Eliza laughed. Doc Sam's house sat on the edge of town. Small, neat. Medical office in front, living quarters in back. Owen pounded on the door. Doc Sam opened it still in his nightshirt. Looked at them. At Eliza's face. At the children. Understanding dawned. She said yes. She said yes. Doc Sam grinned. First real smile Eliza had seen on the old doctor's face in years. Well, hell, come in. Let me get dressed. They crowded into his office. Medical books lined the walls. The smell of carbolic and dried herbs filled the air. Doc Sam disappeared into the back. Returned 5 minutes later in his good suit. Carried a worn Bible. You have rings? Owen pulled off his wedding band. The one Kate had given him. Gold worn thin. This was mine. It'll fit Eliza till we can... It's perfect, Eliza said. She took it. Slid it on her finger. Too big, but close enough. Doc Sam opened the Bible. Witnesses. Us, Jamie said. He grabbed Lily's hand. We'll witness. Doc Sam nodded. Looked at Owen and Eliza. This is gonna be fast, bare bones, but it'll be legal. You ready? Owen looked at Eliza. Ready? No. Do it anyway. Doc Sam smiled. Started reading. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here in the sight of God and these witnesses to join this man and this woman in holy matrimony. Eliza barely heard the words. Her heart was too loud. Her hands too cold. She stared at Owen. At his face. At the way he looked at her like she was the only solid thing in a spinning world. Do you, Owen Hartley, take Eliza Brennan to be your lawfully wedded wife? To have and to hold in sickness and health for richer or poorer till death do you part? I do. Do you, Eliza Brennan, take Owen Hartley to be your lawfully wedded husband? To have and to hold in sickness and health for richer or poorer till death do you part? Eliza's throat closed. She thought about Declan. About the promise she'd made at his grave. I'll never love again. But Declan was dead. She was alive. And maybe keeping that promise meant dying too. I do, she whispered. By the power vested in me by the territory of Montana, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Owen, you may kiss your bride. Owen cupped Eliza's face, kissed her soft, gentle. A promise, not a demand. When they broke apart, Lily was crying. Happy tears. Jamie grinned so wide his face might split. Doc Sam closed the Bible. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Hartley. Now let's get this marriage registered before Cyrus hears and tries to contest it. They drove to the county clerk's office, a small building next to the courthouse. The clerk, a thin, nervous man named Peters, looked up when they entered. Doc Sam, what can I... He saw Eliza. His eyes widened. Mrs. Brennan. Mrs. Hartley now, Owen said. We need to register a marriage. Peters blinked. You got married. Just now? Just now. Needed official. Peters pulled out the marriage register. His hands shook as he wrote. Names. Owen James Hartley. Eliza Catherine Hartley. Date. Today. March 28, 1878. Witnesses. Samuel Bridger and James Hartley. Doc Sam said. Peters wrote, blotted, stamped, pushed the register across. Sign here. Owen signed. Eliza signed. Her new name felt strange under her hand. Foreign. Terrifying. Eliza Hartley. Peters handed them the certificate. That's it. You're married. Legal and binding. Thank you. Owen folded the certificate, tucked it in his coat. They turned to leave. The door opened. Cyrus Wolfe walked in. He stopped, looked at them, at Doc Sam, at the marriage register still open on the desk. His face went white, then red. What have you done? Got married, Owen said, voice flat, calm. Legal as the day is long. Cyrus's jaw worked. This is fraud. Conspiracy. She married you to avoid debt. That's illegal. She married me because I asked and she said yes. Debt's got nothing to do with it. The hell it doesn't. Cyrus stepped forward. You think this changes anything she still owes, and now you owe. I'll take your ranch, Hartley. I'll take everything you have. You can try. I'll do more than try. Cyrus looked at Eliza. His eyes were cold, hurt, angry. I offered you everything. Respect, security, a place in this town, and you chose him, a broken-down rancher with 2 brats and a failing herd. Eliza stepped forward. I chose love, Mr. Wolfe, something you wouldn't recognize if it spit in your face. Cyrus's hand shot out, grabbed her arm, hard. Owen moved fast, shoved Cyrus back, hard enough to make him stumble. Touch my wife again, and we'll have a different conversation. Cyrus straightened his coat. His face was a mask, cold, controlled. 10 days, Hartley. Then I foreclose, and there's not a thing you can do about it. He walked out. The office was silent. Peters, the clerk, looked terrified. I just registered. You did your job, Doc Sam said. No one blames you. They left. Outside, the morning sun was bright. The street was filling with people. Word would spread fast. Eliza Brennan married Owen Hartley. Scandal, gossip, judgment. Let it come. Owen helped Eliza into the wagon. His hands were gentle. You okay? No, but I will be. They drove home, to Owen's ranch, not her cabin. That was the agreement. She'd move in with him, combine households, face whatever came as a family. The ranch was modest, a main house, a barn corrals for cattle. Everything needed work, paint peeling, fences sagging, but it was solid, built to last. Jamie and Lily ran inside ahead of them. Owen helped Eliza down from the wagon. Welcome home, Mrs. Hartley. Eliza looked at the house, at the home she'd just agreed to share. Feels strange. It'll get stranger before it gets easier. You're full of comfort. I'm full of truth. He squeezed her hand. Come on, let's get you settled. Inside the house was clean but sparse. Men's furniture, no curtains, no softness, just function. Lily grabbed Eliza's hand. You can sleep in Mama's room, with Papa. Is that okay? Eliza's throat closed. That's okay, sweetheart. Lily led her down the hall, opened a door. The room was simple. A bed, a dresser, a window facing east. On the dresser sat a photograph. A woman, young, beautiful, dark hair, soft smile. Kate. Eliza touched the frame. She was lovely. Owen appeared in the doorway, saw what she was looking at. I can put it away, if it bothers you. Don't. Eliza turned. She's their mother, your first wife. She belongs here. You're sure? I'm not replacing her, Owen. She struggled for words. I'm just the next chapter. She gets to stay in the story. Owen crossed to her, pulled her close. How are you this smart? I'm not. I'm terrified and making it up as I go. That's the definition of smart. He kissed her forehead, left her to settle in. Eliza stood alone in the room, in Kate's room, in her room now. She opened the dresser, found it empty. Owen had cleared it, made space. She unpacked her few belongings. 2 dresses, a spare apron, Declan's mining helmet. She set the helmet on the dresser next to Kate's photograph. 2 ghosts, 2 lives, 2 loves that ended in grief. But maybe that was okay. Maybe the dead could coexist with the living. Maybe moving forward didn't mean forgetting. She lay down on the bed. Just for a moment. The mattress was soft, softer than her cabin's. She closed her eyes, slept.
Chapai.
She woke to voices. Afternoon sun slanted through the window. She'd slept for hours. Eliza sat up. Her head felt thick, her mouth dry. She walked to the kitchen. Owen stood at the stove, cooking something that smelled like burnt beans. Jamie set the table. Lily folded napkins with intense concentration. They looked like a family. Almost. "You're awake," Owen said. "I was going to wake you for lunch, but you looked dead. Peaceful." Eliza crossed to the stove, looked at what he was cooking, winced. "That's bad. I know. I can't cook worth a damn." "Move." She took the spoon, stirred, added water, salt, scraped the burnt bits off the bottom. "How have you survived?" "We eat a lot of jerky." "That explains why Jamie's so thin." She tasted. Still bad, but fixable. "Get me an onion. And bacon if you have it." Owen found both. Eliza worked. Within 20 minutes the beans were edible. She fried bacon, made cornbread from the supplies in the pantry. They sat down to eat. The first meal as a family. Jamie shoveled food in like he was starving. Lily ate slow, watching Eliza with wide eyes. "This is good, Mama Eliza," Lily said. Eliza froze, spoon halfway to her mouth. "What did you call me?" Lily's face crumpled. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean should I not?" "No." Eliza's eyes filled. "No, sweetheart. You can call me that. If you want." "Really? Really?" Lily beamed. Went back to eating. Across the table, Owen watched Eliza. His face was soft, grateful, scared. They were married. They were a family. And they had 9 days left to figure out how to survive. That night, after the kids were in bed, Owen and Eliza sat at the kitchen table. Papers spread between them. Mortgage documents, bank statements, letters from creditors. "How bad is it?" Eliza asked. "Bad. Your cabin's mortgaged for $800. I've got $500 in savings. We need $300 more. The timber money won't come for 6 weeks. Too late." Eliza pressed her hands to her face. "So, we're ruined." "Not yet." Owen pulled out another paper. "My ranch is worth about $2,000. I can use it as collateral. Negotiate a payment plan with Cyrus." "He won't negotiate. He wants me gone." "Then we go over his head. There's a territorial judge who comes through in 2 weeks. We can appeal, show the marriage is legitimate, show we're trying to pay, ask for an extension." 2 weeks is past the deadline. So we stall. Make Cyrus wait for the judge. "How?" Owen smiled, grim. "Doc Sam knows things. Things about Cyrus. Things Cyrus wouldn't want public." Eliza looked at him. "You're talking about blackmail." "I'm talking about leverage." "That's the same thing." "Then yes. I'm talking about blackmail." Owen leaned forward. "I will do whatever it takes to keep you safe. To keep this family together. If that makes me a bad man, fine. I'll be a bad man." Eliza reached across the table, took his hand. "You're not a bad man. You're a desperate one. There's a difference." "Is there?" "I hope so. Otherwise we're both damned." They sat in silence. The lamp flickered. Outside wind rattled the windows. "I'm scared," Eliza whispered. "Me too." "What if we lose everything? Then we'll start over somewhere else. Montana's big. We'll find land. Build again." "With what money?" "With our hands. Our backs. Same way we've always survived." He squeezed her hand. "We're tougher than Cyrus Wolf. Tougher than this town. And we're together. That counts for something." Eliza wanted to believe him. Wanted to believe love was enough. But she'd loved before. Loved Declan. Loved 5 babies who'd never drawn breath. Love hadn't saved any of them. But maybe this time was different. Maybe fighting together changed the odds. Or maybe they'd lose everything, and she'd survive one more loss, one more grave to dig. She pushed the thought away. Stood. I'm going to bed. I'll be there soon. Just need to finish these numbers. Eliza walked to the bedroom, stood in the doorway, looked at the bed, at Kate's photograph, at Declan's helmet beside it. 2 ghosts watching her climb into bed with a man she'd married out of desperation and chosen out of hope. She undressed, put on her nightgown, slid under the covers. The sheets were cold. She waited. Owen came in 20 minutes later, undressed in the dark, slid in beside her, kept a respectful distance. Owen, yeah. You can touch me. We're married. I know. Just didn't want to presume. Eliza rolled over, faced him. In the dark, she could barely see his face, just the outline, the shape of him. I'm scared of this, she said. Of us. Of needing someone again. Of losing you like I lost Declan. I'm scared too. Of what? Of not being enough, again. Of failing you like I failed Kate. They lay there, 2 scared, broken people trying to figure out how to be whole. Eliza moved closer, put her head on his chest, felt his heartbeat, steady, strong. Owen's arm came around her, held her. They slept like that, holding each other against the dark, against the fear, against whatever was coming. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't even comfortable. But it was real. And real was all they had. Morning came too soon. Someone was pounding on the door. Owen stumbled out of bed, grabbed his pants. Eliza followed, pulling on her robe. Owen opened the door. Abigail Marsh stood there. Behind her, half the town. Maybe 20 people, all staring, all judging. Mr. Hartley? Abigail's voice was cold, formal. We've come on behalf of the church to discuss your recent marriage. What about it? It's unseemly, rushed. The congregation feels we feel that it sets a poor example for the children. The children are fine. Nevertheless, Abigail pushed past him, into the house. The others followed, filled the kitchen like an invading army. Eliza stood frozen in the bedroom doorway. She'd known judgment was coming. But seeing it, seeing their faces, their disgust, was different from imagining it. Reverend Morrison stepped forward. Mrs. Hartley, is it true you married Mr. Hartley yesterday, without proper courtship, without banns being posted? It's true. And is it true you did so to avoid financial obligation to Mr. Wolfe? I did so because Owen asked and I said yes. My reasons are my own. Your reasons affect this community, affect these children. The Reverend gestured at Jamie and Lily, who'd emerged from their room, scared and confused. What kind of mother rushes into marriage with indecent haste? What lessons does that teach? Owen stepped forward. That's enough. It is not enough. This woman, my wife, this woman has a reputation. 5 dead children, a murdered husband. Some say she's cursed. Some say... Owen moved fast, grabbed the Reverend's shirt, shoved him against the wall. Get out of my house. Mr. Hartley, get out. All of you. Now. No one moved. Owen's voice dropped, deadly quiet. I fought in the war, killed men who deserved it less than you do right now. I'm giving you 10 seconds to leave. After that, I stop being polite. The crowd shifted, uncomfortable, scared. Abigail Marsh spoke up. We're only concerned for the children. The children are fine, better than fine. They have a mother who loves them, a home, a family. That's more than they had 2 days ago. But the scandal is your problem, not mine. Owen released the Reverend, stepped back. You came into my home, insulted my wife, threatened my family. I want you gone. If you have concerns, Take them to the territorial judge when he comes. Until then, stay away from us." The crowd filed out, slow, reluctant, still judging. Abigail was last. She paused at the door. "You're making a mistake, Mr. Hartley. That woman will destroy you. Then I'll be destroyed. But I'll be destroyed with her. Now get out." She left. Owen shut the door, leaned against it. His hands shook. Eliza crossed to him, wrapped her arms around him. He buried his face in her hair. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I'm so sorry they said those things. It's not your fault. I should have protected you better. You did protect me. You threw them out." Jamie and Lily appeared, both crying. Owen knelt, pulled them close. "It's okay. We're okay. They said mean things about Mama Eliza." Lily sobbed. "I know, baby. People say mean things when they're scared." "Scared of what?" "Of things they don't understand, of people who don't fit their rules. But we don't have to play by their rules. We make our own." Jamie wiped his eyes. "Are we going to be okay, Pa?" Owen looked at Eliza. She looked back. Neither of them knew the answer, but they couldn't say that to the kids. "We're going to fight," Owen said. "And fighting's all we can do. But we'll do it together, all four of us. Okay." "Okay, Pa." They spent the rest of the morning trying to pretend everything was normal. Eliza made breakfast. Owen worked on fences. The kids did chores. But the fear hung in the air like smoke. Choking. Inescapable. That afternoon, a wagon arrived. Eliza looked out the window, saw a woman she didn't know. Young, pretty, well-dressed. Beside the wagon stood Cyrus Wolfe, smiling. Owen came out of the barn, saw them. His face went pale. Eliza walked outside, stood beside him. The woman climbed down from the wagon, extended her hand. "Mr. Hartley, I'm Margaret Ashford, from Denver. Mrs. Marsh wrote to me about—" She stopped. Saw Eliza. Saw the way Owen stood close to her. Understanding dawned. "Oh, I see. She didn't mention you were—" "Married," Owen said. "Yesterday." Margaret's face fell. "I see. Then I've traveled all this way for nothing. I'm sorry. I didn't know Abigail had—" "It's not your fault." Margaret climbed back into the wagon. "I hope you'll be happy, Mr. Hartley. Both of you." She drove away. Cyrus stayed. Watching. His smile was cold. "Well played, Hartley. Marry her to avoid scandal. Clever. But it doesn't change the debt. 9 days. Then I take everything." He walked away. Owen turned to Eliza. "He brought her here to humiliate us. To show the town—" "I know what he was doing." Eliza's voice was flat, tired. "And it worked. Everyone saw. Everyone knows you were supposed to marry her. That you married me out of desperation." "That's not, isn't it?" She looked at him. "Be honest, Owen. If I didn't have the mortgage problem, would you have married me yesterday? Would you have rushed it?" Owen opened his mouth, closed it. "I don't know. Maybe not yesterday, but eventually. Yes." "Eventually's not the same as yesterday." "No, it's not. But yesterday's what we got. And I don't regret it. You will, when you lose your ranch. When your kids hate you for choosing me over their security. They don't hate you. They love you. Today. What about tomorrow, next week, when we're homeless and desperate and it's all my fault?" Owen grabbed her shoulders, made her look at him. "Stop. Stop doing this. Stop borrowing tomorrow's disasters. We have enough in today." Eliza pulled away. "I need to be alone." Bo. She walked toward the barn. Owen didn't follow, just stood there watching her go, knowing she was right, knowing they'd rushed this, knowing the consequences were coming whether they were ready or not. Inside the barn, Eliza sat in the straw, put her head in her hands, cried. She'd survived so much, buried so much, and now she'd dragged Owen and his kids into her disaster. They'd lose everything because of her. And she'd survive that too. She always survived. Sometimes survival felt like the cruelest punishment of all. Outside, the sun moved across the sky. 9 days left. Then the reckoning came. And Eliza had no idea how they'd survive it. Eliza didn't come out of the barn until dark. When she did, Owen was sitting on the porch steps waiting. He didn't say anything, just stood, held out his hand. She took it. They walked inside together. The kids were already asleep. The house was quiet except for the clock ticking on the mantel, each tick a second closer to losing everything. "I talked to Doc Sam," Owen said. "He's willing to testify about Cyrus." "Testify to what?" "His wife, Martha. She didn't die of natural causes." Eliza turned to look at him. "What are you saying?" "Laudanum overdose. Doc Sam treated her for months before she died. Cyrus was difficult, controlling. Martha told Doc Sam things she was afraid to tell anyone else. You think Cyrus killed her?" "I think he made her life so miserable she wanted to die. Whether he gave her the laudanum or she took it herself, either way, he's responsible." Eliza sat down at the table. Her hands were shaking. "If we use that, if we threaten him with it, he'll destroy us completely. You know that." "He's already destroying us." "Then he'll do it faster, meaner. Owen, men like Cyrus don't back down when cornered. They attack." "So what do we do, roll over? Let him take everything?" "I don't know." Her voice broke. "I don't know how to fight someone who owns the town, owns the judge, owns everything." Owen knelt beside her chair. "We fight dirty. We fight mean. We use every weapon we have. Even if it makes us just like him. We're nothing like him. He fights for power. We fight for survival. That's different." Eliza looked at her husband. This man she'd known for less than a month. Married in desperation, chosen in hope. "I'm scared we're gonna lose." "Me too. But I'd rather lose fighting than lose without trying." She nodded. "Okay. Talk to Doc Sam, see what he knows. But Owen, if this goes wrong, if Cyrus comes after us harder, then we'll face it together." The next morning, Owen rode to town. Eliza stayed home with the kids, tried to keep things normal, made breakfast, helped Lily with letters, watched Jamie practice his numbers. But the fear was there, in every heartbeat, every breath. Around noon, a wagon pulled up. Eliza looked out the window, expected Cyrus, expected the church mob. Instead, she saw Doc Sam, and behind him, 3 other wagons, families she recognized: the Coopers, the McGregors, the Johnsons, all ranchers, all people who'd kept to themselves, stayed out of town politics. Eliza stepped onto the porch. "Doc Sam." The old doctor climbed down. "Got something to show you. Can we use your barn?" Of course. The families gathered in the barn, 12 adults, handful of kids. They stood in a semicircle facing Eliza. Samuel Cooper spoke first. Big man, weathered face, voice like gravel. "We heard what happened, with Cyrus, with the foreclosure. News travels fast. Small town. We also heard about the church coming here, Abigail and her mob. Heard what they said to you." Eliza's jaw tightened. What they said was true. "I am cursed. 5 dead babies, dead husband. Everything I touch." Stop. This from Mary McGregor. Small woman, iron spine. "I lost 3 babies before my boy was born. Stillborn, all of them. Does that make me cursed?" Eliza said nothing. "It doesn't," Mary continued. "It makes me a woman living on the frontier where half of all babies die before they're a year old, where infection kills strong men, where winters kill cattle and drought kills crops, and sometimes we all die, and there ain't no curse about it. It's just life." Thomas Johnson stepped forward. "My wife died in childbirth. Sarah. Best woman I ever knew. Town whispered I'd worked her too hard. Didn't get the doctor fast enough. Blamed me." He paused. "They were wrong, just like they're wrong about you." Doc Sam spoke up. "Cyrus Wolf holds mortgages on half the ranches out here. Forecloses when he feels like it. Buys land cheap. Resells high. He's been doing it for years. We've been too scared to fight back. But if you fight him, if you and Owen stand up, we'll stand with you." Eliza's throat closed. "You don't know what you're offering. Cyrus will come after all of you." "Let him," Samuel Cooper said. "We're tired of living scared." Mary McGregor pulled out a cloth bag, dropped it on a hay bale. It clinked. $300, from all of us. It's what you need for the mortgage, ain't it? Eliza stared at the bag. "I can't take that. We need Cyrus to know he can't pick us off one by one. You and Owen are the first ones to fight back. That makes you worth saving. But if I can't pay you back, then you can't. We'll survive." Thomas Johnson's face was hard, kind. "This ain't charity, Mrs. Hartley. This is war, and we're choosing sides." Eliza looked at the faces around her, at the people she'd thought hated her, judged her. Turns out they'd just been waiting for someone to throw the first punch. "Thank you," she whispered. "I don't know how to. Don't need thanks. Just need you to keep fighting." They left one by one, wagons rolling back toward their own ranches, their own problems, but lighter somehow. United. Doc Sam stayed behind. "There's something else. Something I need to tell you about Cyrus." Owen mentioned, about Martha. "It's worse than he knows." Doc Sam's face was grave. "Martha came to me 2 weeks before she died, showed me bruises, on her ribs, her arms. Said Cyrus hit her when she argued, when she didn't obey fast enough." Eliza's hands clenched. "Did you report it?" "To who Cyrus owns the sheriff, owns the judge. I documented it in my records, but I couldn't stop it. She died 2 weeks later. Laudanum overdose. Official ruling was accidental. But Martha told me the day before she died, she said, 'If something happens to me, make sure people know it wasn't an accident.' You think he killed her? I think he drove her to it. Same thing in my book." Doc Sam pulled out a leather journal. "These are my medical notes. Martha's appointments, her injuries, her words. If we need leverage against Cyrus, this is it. He'll come after you." "I'm 73 years old. Wife's dead. No kids." "No. What's he gonna do to me that time won't do anyway?" "Doc." Sam smiled. Sad. Tired. "Sometimes you get old enough that fear stops mattering. I'm there." Eliza took the journal, held it like the weapon it was. "Thank you, Doc. Thank your husband. He's the one who asked me to dig up the past. I just kept good records." After Doc Sam left, Eliza sat in the barn with the bag of money and the journal. $300. Proof of abuse. 2 weapons that might save them or might get them all killed. Owen came home at sunset, saw the bag, saw the journal, saw Eliza's face. They came, Samuel Cooper, Mary McGregor, all of them, gave us the money. Owen sat down hard on a hay bale. "I can't believe. They're tired of Cyrus. We're just the excuse they needed to fight back." "Did Doc Sam?" Eliza handed him the journal. "Read." Owen read. His face went pale, then red, then hard as stone. "He beat her. Drove her to suicide, Doc Sam thinks. We have to take this to the territorial judge. Show him what kind of man Cyrus is. The judge won't come for another week. We have 8 days until foreclosure. Then we stall. We take this to the town council tomorrow. Make them see. The town council is full of Cyrus's friends. Not all of them. Some are just scared. If we show them this, if we make them choose between Cyrus and justice, they'll choose Cyrus. He has power. We have paper." Owen stood, started pacing. "Then what do we do? Just wait. Just let him win." "No." Eliza stood. "We make him an offer. We give him the $300. Show him we can pay. Ask for an extension until the timber money comes in. He won't accept. Maybe not. But we try the peaceful way first. Then, if he refuses, we use the journal. We threaten to make Martha's story public, to ruin him the way he's trying to ruin us." Owen stopped pacing. "That's blackmail. That's survival." They looked at each other. Two people who'd never wanted to be fighters, who just wanted to live quiet lives, raise families, work the land, but the land didn't let you stay quiet. Neither did men like Cyrus Wolfe. "Okay," Owen said. "Tomorrow morning we go to the bank. We try it your way. If he refuses, we do it mine." That night, Eliza couldn't sleep. She lay beside Owen listening to him breathe, thinking about tomorrow, about confronting Cyrus, about the journal and what it meant. Martha Wolfe had been her age, had suffered alone, had died alone, because no one fought for her. Eliza wouldn't let that happen again. Not to herself, not to anyone. Around midnight, Lily screamed. Eliza and Owen bolted out of bed, ran to the kids' room. Lily was sitting up crying. Jamie tried to comfort her, but she just kept crying. "Sweetheart, what's wrong?" Eliza knelt beside the bed. "I had a bad dream. They took you away. The people from church. They said you were bad and they took you, and Papa couldn't stop them, and I was alone again." Eliza pulled the little girl into her arms. "I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Promise?" "I promise. Mama Kate promised too. Then she died." Owen knelt beside them. "Mama Eliza's not sick, Lily. She's strong. She's going to be here for a long time." "What if Mr. Wolfe takes our house? Where will we go?" "Then we'll find another house. We'll build one if we have to. But we'll be together. That's what matters." Lily cried harder. "I don't want to lose another mama. I can't." Eliza's heart broke clean open. She held the child tighter. "You won't lose me. I promise you won't lose me." Jamie spoke up from his bed, voice quiet, scared. "Pa, are we gonna be okay?" Owen looked at his son, at his daughter, at his wife holding both of them. "I don't know, son, but we're gonna fight like hell to make sure we are." "Can I help? I'm not little. I can help." "I know you can. But this is grown-up fighting, the kind with lawyers and banks and mean words. You help by taking care of your sister, by being brave when she's scared. Can you do that?" "Yes, sir." They got Lily settled. Eliza sang her a lullaby, some Irish song her own mother had sung. Lily's breathing slowed, deepened. Sleep. Owen and Eliza went back to their room. Lay down. Didn't talk. Just held hands in the dark. "We can't lose," Eliza whispered. "Those kids can't survive another loss." "I know. So we do whatever it takes. We lie. We cheat. We blackmail. Whatever keeps them safe." Agreed. They fell asleep like that. Two people who'd become parents and partners and fighters all in the span of a week. The weight of it crushing. The hope of it terrifying. Morning came cold and clear. Owen hitched up the wagon. Eliza dressed in her best dress, the one she'd worn to marry Declan. Dark blue. Respectable. "You look beautiful," Owen said. "I look desperate." "Same thing right now." They drove to town, left the kids with Mary McGregor, who'd come over at dawn to watch them. The woman had squeezed Eliza's hand. "You fight. We're praying." The bank sat on Main Street, stone building, intimidating, built to last. Cyrus's office was on the second floor. They climbed the stairs. Each step felt like walking to an execution. Owen knocked. "Come in." They entered. Cyrus sat behind a massive desk, papers spread before him. He looked up, smiled, cold as December. "Mr. and Mrs. Hartley, what a surprise." "We came to make a payment," Owen said. He set the bag of money on the desk. $300, all we owe on Eliza's mortgage. Cyrus didn't touch the bag, just looked at it. "And where did this money come from?" That's not your concern. It is if it's borrowed. If you're taking on debt to pay debt, that's not a solution. That's desperation. It's not borrowed. It's a gift from friends. Cyrus laughed. Friends. You have no friends in this town, Hartley. Everyone knows you married this woman out of obligation. Everyone knows she trapped you. Eliza spoke up. I didn't trap anyone. We chose each other. Did you choose desperation? Did he choose scandal? Cyrus leaned back in his chair. It doesn't matter. I'm not accepting this payment. Owen's hands clenched. The mortgage says payment in full within 30 days of demand, not 10. 30. I gave you 10 out of charity. Now I'm revoking that charity. You have 23 more days. That's not legal. It's perfectly legal. Read the fine print. Cyrus pushed a document across the desk. The lender has the right to extend or retract deadlines at will. I'm exercising that right. Owen looked at the document, saw the clause, felt his stomach drop. You're playing games, Eliza said, voice flat, dead. I'm exercising my legal rights. There's a difference. Why are you doing this? What did I ever do to you? Cyrus stood, walked around the desk, stood too close to Eliza. You rejected me. You humiliated me. You chose a broken-down rancher over a man of means and standing. That's what you did. So this is revenge. This is justice. You need to learn your place, Mrs. Hartley. Women like you, independent, proud, ungrateful, you need to be taught humility, and I'm a patient teacher. Owen stepped between them. Get away from my wife. Or what? You'll hit me. Please do. Give me a reason to have you arrested. Give me a reason to take your children away for having a violent father. Owen's fist shook. Every muscle wanted to swing, to break Cyrus's perfect teeth, to make him hurt. But Eliza touched his arm. Don't. That's what he wants. She pulled out Doc Sam's journal, set it on the desk. Martha kept records too, medical records, bruises, broken ribs, her own words describing what you did to her, how you beat her, how you drove her to suicide. Cyrus's face went white. That's lies. Martha was sick, fragile. She was abused. And if you don't extend our deadline, if you don't accept this payment, these records go to the territorial judge, to the newspaper, to every person in this town. Everyone will know what kind of man you are. You're bluffing. Try me. Eliza's voice was ice. You took everything from Martha. You'll take nothing else from me. Cyrus picked up the journal, flipped through it. His hands shook. This Doc Sam gave you this. He did, because he's tired of watching you destroy people. Cyrus set down the journal, sat down hard in his chair. For the first time he looked old, scared. What do you want? Accept the payment. Extend the deadline to 60 days for the rest. When the timber money comes, we'll pay in full. Then we're done. No more threats. No more games. And if I do this, you destroy those records. We keep them. Insurance. But we don't share them, unless you come after us again. Cyrus was silent for a long moment. Then he pulled out a receipt book, wrote quickly, signed, pushed it across the desk. Payment accepted. 60-day extension granted. If you're late, I foreclose immediately. No appeals. No extensions. Understood. Understood. They left, walked down the stairs, out onto the street, didn't speak until they were in the wagon driving away. Then Owen pulled over, put his head in his hands, started shaking. Eliza put her arm around him. It's okay. We won. We blackmailed a man, used his dead wife against him. How is that winning? Because we're still standing. Because we have 60 more days. Because sometimes winning means doing terrible things to survive. I don't want to be that person. Neither do I. But I want to keep my family more than I want to stay clean. Don't you? Owen looked at her. At this woman who'd become his wife. his partner, his conscience, and his courage all at once. "Yeah, I do." They drove home. Mary McGregor was waiting with the kids. She took one look at their faces and smiled. "You did it. We did it. Thank God. The others will be so relieved." After Mary left, the kids ran to them. Jamie hugged Owen. Lily grabbed Eliza's hand. "Are we safe now?" Lily asked. "For now, sweetheart. For now." That night they had dinner as a family. Real dinner. Pot roast Eliza had been cooking all day. Bread, butter, greens from the root cellar. They ate slow, talked, laughed a little, tried to pretend everything was normal. After dinner, Owen took the kids outside to check on the cattle. Eliza washed dishes, stared out the window at her family. She'd bought them 60 days. 60 days to get the timber money. 60 days to figure out how to survive long term. 60 days to become the family they were pretending to be. It wasn't much, but it was something. Doc Sam arrived just after dark. He looked tired, old. He sat at the kitchen table while Eliza poured him coffee. "Cyrus came to see me," Doc Sam said, "after you left." Eliza's stomach dropped. "What did he say?" "Threatened to ruin me. Take my medical license. Run me out of town." Doc Sam smiled. "I told him to try. I'm too old to care and too mean to scare. He left." "I'm sorry. I never meant to." "Don't apologize for fighting back. Martha would have wanted this. Would have wanted her story to save someone else." "Did you love her, Martha?" "Doc." Sam was quiet for a moment. "My wife died 3 years before Martha did. Martha came to me broken and scared, and I patched her up best I could. Did I love her? No. But I cared. And I failed her. Let her go back to that house knowing what waited. That's a guilt I'll carry to my grave." "You couldn't have stopped her. She was an adult. She made her choices." "Choices made under duress ain't really choices. They're just different kinds of traps." He looked at Eliza. "Don't let Owen become like Cyrus. Don't let desperation turn him cruel. Owen's not. Owen's scared. Scared men do desperate things. You've seen it. Hell, you married him out of desperation. Just make sure desperation doesn't become his default. Make sure you both remember why you're fighting. Not just survival. Love, family, hope." Doc Sam left. Eliza sat alone in the kitchen, thinking about his words, about desperation and cruelty and the thin line between them. She'd seen that line today, in Cyrus's office, when she'd used Martha's pain as a weapon, when Owen had almost hit Cyrus just to feel powerful. They'd won, but the cost was a piece of their souls. She wondered how many more pieces they could afford to lose before there was nothing left worth saving. Owen came in, saw her face. "What's wrong?" "Doc Sam came by. Warned me not to let desperation make us cruel." "Too late for that." "Maybe. Or maybe we can still pull back. Still fight without losing ourselves completely." Owen sat beside her. "How? I don't know. But we have to try. Because those kids—" She gestured toward the bedroom where Jamie and Lily slept. "They're watching us. Learning from us. And if we teach them that survival means cruelty, that winning means destroying others, what kind of people will they become? Better than dead. Is surviving as monsters better than dying as humans?" Owen had no answer. Neither did Eliza. They sat in silence. Two people who'd crossed a line and couldn't uncross it. Who'd won a battle but lost a piece of themselves in the process. Outside, the Montana night was cold. Stars burned overhead like ice. Somewhere wolves howled. Somewhere cattle lowed. Somewhere life kept happening despite the darkness. Inside, Owen and Eliza held hands, wondering if they'd made the right choice, knowing they'd make the same choice again if they had to. Because that's what love meant on the frontier. Not grand gestures, not poetry. Just choosing each other over and over, even when the choices turned dark. even when the cost was high, even when you weren't sure there was enough left of yourself to survive the choosing. The clock on the mantel ticked. 59 days left. 59 days to get the timber money, to pay off Cyrus, to become free. 59 days felt like forever, felt like nothing at all. But it was what they had, so they'd use every second, every choice, every weapon, and hope that when it was over, they'd still recognize the people staring back from the mirror. The weeks passed slow. Every morning, Eliza woke expecting disaster. Every night she went to bed grateful they'd survived another day. Owen worked the ranch from dawn till dark, fixing fences, tending cattle, doing anything to keep his hands busy and his mind from counting down the days. 47 days left, then 40, then 35. The timber money didn't come. Eliza wrote to the company in Helena, twice. No response. She rode into town to check at the post office. Nothing. The fear that had been living in her chest turned into something sharper, something that felt like knowing. "They're not paying," she told Owen one night. They sat at the kitchen table, papers spread between them. 3 months late. They're not paying. They have to. We had a contract. Contracts don't mean much when the company goes bankrupt. I heard talk in town. The timber mill closed. Too much competition from Oregon. They owe money to half the territory. Owen's face went gray. So we're finished. We have 32 days to find $500 somewhere else. Where we've borrowed from everyone who'd lend. Used every favor. Sold everything we can spare. Eliza looked at the mortgage papers, at the numbers that wouldn't change no matter how hard she stared at them. There's one thing left. What? My cabin, the land. We could sell it. Fast sale, take whatever we can get. That's your home, your land, Declan's land. Declan's dead. The land doesn't care who owns it. If we sell it, we might get enough to pay Cyrus. Might get to keep your ranch, keep the kids home. Owen reached across the table, took her hands. I won't ask you to do that. You're not asking, I'm offering. Eliza, what choice do we have? Lose both properties or lose one? I choose one. You hate giving up. You hate losing. I hate watching you lose more. She pulled her hands away, stood. I'll ride to town tomorrow. Find a buyer. We have 32 days. Someone will take it for cheap. She walked to the bedroom, shut the door, sat on the edge of the bed and cried. Silent tears that tasted like failure. The cabin was all she had left of Declan, of the life they'd built, the babies they'd buried behind it. Selling it felt like erasing them, like saying they never mattered. But keeping it meant losing Owen, losing Jamie and Lily, losing the family she'd accidentally built from desperation and hope. Some choices weren't really choices at all. Owen came in an hour later, lay down beside her, didn't touch her, just lay there in the dark. I'm sorry, he said. For what? For dragging you into this. For marrying you when I knew it was a disaster. For being too proud to walk away before it got this bad. I'm not sorry. You should be. Well, I'm not. She rolled over, faced him. I'm angry. I'm scared. I'm exhausted. But I'm not sorry I married you. Those are different things. Are they? Yes. She touched his face. When this is over, when we lose everything, or somehow win, I'll still be glad I chose you, even if it destroys me. That's what love is. Choosing someone even when it costs everything. Owen kissed her, desperate, like a drowning man grabbing rope. She kissed him back, held him. Let herself feel something other than fear for just a moment. They made love that night, not gentle, not easy. Just two people trying to prove they were still alive, still fighting, still together despite the world trying to tear them apart. Afterward, they lay tangled in sheets, Owen's hand on her stomach, her head on his chest. "Don't sell the cabin yet," he said. "Give me 2 weeks. Let me try something first." "What?" "I have an idea. It's desperate. Might not work. But let me try." "Owen, 2 weeks. If it doesn't work, we sell. I promise." Eliza didn't ask what he was planning, didn't want to know, just nodded against his chest and tried to believe in miracles. The next morning, Owen left before dawn, told the kids he had business in town, told Eliza he'd be back by supper, rode away on his best horse with saddlebags full of supplies. He didn't come back by supper. Eliza put the kids to bed, told them Papa was helping a neighbor, told them not to worry, lay awake all night listening for hoofbeats. Owen came back 2 days later, covered in trail dust, exhausted, but his eyes were bright, alive. "I went to Fort Benton," he said. "Talked to the Army quartermaster. They need beef, a lot of it, for the winter supplies. You sold our cattle. Half of them. Got $800, enough to pay Cyrus and have money left over." Eliza stared at him. "800 how?" "I drove a hard bargain. Told them I'd deliver before the first snow. Told them our beef was the best in the territory. Might have exaggerated a little." "Owen." She grabbed his face, kissed him hard. "You beautiful, crazy, wonderful man. It's not over yet. We have to deliver. 40 head of cattle, 70 miles, through mountain passes before winter hits. If we lose them, stampede wolves weather, we lose everything." "When do we leave?" "We." "You think I'm staying here while you drive cattle across Montana? I'm coming. The kids can stay with Mary McGregor." "Eliza, it's dangerous, the trail." "I don't care. We're in this together. That means together. Not you risking your life while I wait and pray." Owen looked at her. At this woman who'd become his partner in every sense, who wouldn't let him carry the weight alone. "Okay, we leave in 3 days. Need to get the herd ready. Hire drovers if we can afford them. Samuel Cooper's boys. They'll work for cheap. And Mary's husband knows the trail." They spent the next 3 days preparing, sorting cattle, packing supplies, making arrangements for the kids. Jamie cried when they told him, not because he was sad, because he wanted to come. "I can help, Pa. I can ride. I can work. I know you can, son, but I need you here, taking care of your sister, being the man of the house while we're gone. Can you do that?" Jamie straightened, tried to look older than 9. "Yes, sir?" Lily was quieter, just held on to Eliza's skirt. "You're coming back, right, Mama Eliza?" "I'm coming back, I promise. Mama Kate promised too." Eliza knelt, looked the little girl in the eyes. "Your mama didn't choose to leave you. She died because birth is dangerous and sometimes women don't survive. I'm not giving birth. I'm just driving cattle. And I'm strong and stubborn. And I will come back to you. Do you believe me?" Lily searched her face, then nodded. "I believe you." They left on a Tuesday morning. Owen and Eliza. Samuel Cooper's 2 sons, Jack and Thomas, both in their 20s, and Mary McGregor's husband, Duncan, who'd driven cattle to Fort Benton twice before and knew every river crossing and canyon pass. 40 head of cattle, 3 horses each, supplies for 2 weeks. The first 3 days were easy. Flat land, good weather. The cattle moved steady. They made good time. On the 4th day they hit the mountains. The trail narrowed, rocky, steep. The cattle balked, didn't want to climb. Owen and Duncan rode point, pushing them forward. Eliza and the Cooper boys rode flanks, keeping the herd together. By nightfall they'd gone 5 miles. Should have been 15. "At this rate we'll never make it before snow," Duncan said. They sat around the campfire eating jerky and hard bread. And once snow hits these passes, we're trapped. "How long do we have?" Owen asked. "Week. Maybe 2 if we're lucky. But I can smell it coming. Big storm, the kind that buries trails." "Then we push harder tomorrow. Start before dawn. Keep moving till dark." They did. Up at 4, moving by 5. The cattle were exhausted. 2 collapsed halfway up a steep pass. Had to be left behind. Loss they couldn't afford but couldn't prevent. Eliza rode till her legs went numb, till her back screamed, till she couldn't remember what it felt like not to hurt. But she didn't complain, just kept riding. On the 7th day, they reached a river crossing. The river was high, fast, dangerous. "We have to cross here," Duncan said. "Next crossing's 30 miles north. We don't have time." "It's too deep," Jack Cooper said. His younger brother Thomas nodded agreement. "Cattle will panic, drown." "They'll drown, or we'll lose everything waiting," Owen said. "We cross." They pushed the cattle into the water. The current was brutal, knocked 2 cows sideways. They struggled, bawled. Owen spurred his horse into the river, grabbed 1 cow's horn, pulled. The animal followed. Eliza rode in after him. The water hit her horse chest high, cold as death. She grabbed the 2nd cow, pulled. Her horse stumbled. The current caught them. Everything went sideways. Water, sky, sound. She went under. The current spun her, smashed her against rocks. Her lungs burned. She couldn't find up, couldn't breathe. A hand grabbed her coat, hauled her up. Owen, soaking wet, terrified. He'd jumped off his horse, swam to her, pulled her to shallow water. They collapsed on the bank, both coughing, both shaking. "Don't ever do that again," Owen gasped. "Do what?" "Go under. Disappear." "I thought—" His voice broke. "I thought I lost you." "I'm fine, just wet." "You're not fine. You almost drowned." "But I didn't. You saved me." She grabbed his face, made him look at her. "I'm okay, Owen. We're okay." Duncan rode up. "We lost 3 cows. Rest made it across. We need to keep moving before we lose more light." They moved, soaking wet, freezing, but alive. That night they made camp in a canyon, built a big fire, dried their clothes, ate hot food for the first time in days. Eliza sat close to Owen, shivering despite the fire. He wrapped a blanket around both of them. 37 cattle left," he said. "Need 35 to meet the contract. No more losses." "We'll make it." "You don't know that." "No, but I believe it. That's different." Duncan spoke up from across the fire. "Storm's coming. Tomorrow or the next day. I can feel it. We need to make Fort Benton before it hits or we're finished." "How far?" 40 miles. 2 days if the weather holds. 4 if it doesn't. "Then we make it in 2. They rode before dawn. Pushed the cattle hard. Too hard. Another cow collapsed. Had to leave it. 36 cattle left. The sky turned gray. Then dark. Wind picked up. Cold wind that smelled like snow. "Storm's here," Duncan said. "We need shelter." "How far to the fort?" 30 miles. "Can we make it?" "Not before the storm hits. We need to hole up. Wait it out." "We don't have time to wait." "We don't have a choice. This storm will kill us and the cattle if we're caught in the open." Owen looked at Eliza, at her face, at the determination there despite the fear. "What do you think?" he asked. "I think we didn't come this far to quit now. I think we push through. We could die. We could lose everything waiting. I'd rather die fighting." Owen turned to Duncan. "We push through." Duncan shook his head. "You're both crazy. But okay. We push." The snow started an hour later. Light at first. Then heavier. Then so thick they couldn't see 10 feet ahead. The cattle slowed, bunched together, scared. Eliza rode beside them, singing. Irish songs her mother had taught her. Nonsense words in a language she barely remembered. But the sound helped. The cattle calmed, kept moving. Her hands went numb. Her face burned with cold. Ice formed in her eyelashes. She couldn't feel her feet in the stirrups, but she kept singing, kept riding. Beside her, Owen rode like a man possessed, pushing, shouting, refusing to let the herd stop. Jack Cooper fell off his horse, hypothermia. They got him back on, tied him in the saddle, kept moving. The snow got worse, complete whiteout. They couldn't see the trail, couldn't see each other. Just followed Duncan, who rode point by memory and faith. 3 more cows dropped, froze where they fell. 33 cattle left. They were below contract. If they lost 2 more, they failed. Lost everything. Eliza prayed. First time in years. Prayed to God, to Declan, to Kate, to anyone listening. Please, please let us make it. Please don't let these kids lose another parent. Please. The snow stopped at dawn. They stood on a ridge overlooking a valley. Below them, maybe 5 miles away, Fort Benton. Smoke rising from chimneys. Flags snapping in the wind. Civilization. They'd made it. Owen started laughing. Exhausted. Relieved. Crazy. We made it. Dear God, we actually made it. Eliza laughed too, then cried, then laughed again. 33 cattle. We're below contract. I'll negotiate. Tell them we lost some to storm. Offer a discount. They need beef. They'll take what we have. They drove the herd down the ridge. Into the fort. Soldiers came out to meet them. The quartermaster, a thin man with gray hair and sharp eyes, counted the cattle. Contract says 40 head. Storm took 7, Owen said. I'll discount 20%. Give you 33 head for the price of 33. That's fair. The quartermaster looked at the cattle, at the frozen, exhausted drovers, at Eliza, who was still ice-crusted and shaking. You drove these through that storm? Yes, sir. That's either bravery or stupidity. Both, probably. The quartermaster smiled. I like you. Contract accepted. 33 head at full price. You earned it. Full price. But you delivered, before the deadline, through a blizzard. That's worth something. Wait here. I'll get your payment. He came back 20 minutes later, handed Owen a bank draft. $800. Owen stared at it, at the numbers, at the salvation written in ink. Thank you, sir. Thank your wife. Woman who'll ride through hell for her family is worth keeping. They stayed at the fort one night. Hot food, warm beds, bath water, luxury they'd forgotten existed. Eliza soaked in a tin tub, letting the heat seep into her bones, thawing the cold that had settled so deep she'd thought it was permanent. Owen came in, sat on the floor beside the tub. We did it, he said. We actually did it. We did? I almost lost you in that river, and again in the storm. I kept thinking, if something happens to you, if you die because I dragged you into this, stop. I chose this. I chose you. I chose to fight. Don't take that away by making it your burden alone. I love you. He said it simple, true, like breathing. I don't think I've said it enough. But I love you. More than I thought I could love anyone again. Eliza reached out, touched his face. I love you too. Even when I'm terrified. Even when I'm angry. Even when you're being impossibly stubborn. I love you. They kissed. Then she pulled him into the tub. Clothes and all. They laughed like children. Like people who'd forgotten how to laugh and just remembered. They rode home 4 days later. Took it slow. Stopped at every town to rest. To eat real food. To sleep in real beds. When they reached the ranch, Jamie and Lily ran out to meet them. Threw themselves at Owen and Eliza like they'd been gone years instead of weeks. You came back, Lily sobbed. You came back. I told you I would, Eliza said. She held the little girl tight, breathed in the smell of her hair. I always keep my promises. That night they gathered at the kitchen table. Owen laid out the bank draft. $800, salvation in paper form. Tomorrow we go to the bank, Owen said. We pay Cyrus, every dollar. Then we're free. What if he won't accept it? Jamie asked. What if he tries to cheat again? Then we have witnesses, we have proof, and we have friends who'll stand with us. He can't cheat us this time. We're too prepared. Eliza looked at her family. At the children who'd become hers. At the husband who'd become her partner. At the life they'd built from disaster. They'd survived. Barely. At terrible cost. But they'd survived. Tomorrow they'd face Cyrus. Tomorrow they'd win or lose everything. But tonight, they were together. They were home. They were alive. And that was enough. Morning came cold and bright. They dressed in their best clothes. Owen in his Sunday suit, Eliza in her blue dress, Jamie and Lily in clean shirts and combed hair. They rode to town as a family. United. The bank was full when they arrived. Word had spread. The town knew this was the day. Pay or forfeit. Win or lose. Samuel Cooper was there. Mary McGregor. Doc Sam. Thomas Johnson. All the families who'd lent them money. All the people who'd chosen their side. And there was Cyrus, behind his desk, waiting. Owen walked forward, laid the bank draft on the desk. $800. Payment in full for Eliza's mortgage and mine, with interest. We're paid up, contract satisfied. Cyrus picked up the draft, examined it. His face was stone. This is from Fort Benton quartermaster. It is. We sold cattle, fulfilled a government contract, legal and binding. And you're certain you want to pay. Once I take this, you're out of cash, no reserves. One bad winter and you're finished. We'll take our chances. Cyrus looked at Eliza, at Owen, at the family standing united, at the community backing them. He'd lost, and he knew it. Very well. He stamped the receipts, signed them, pushed them across the desk. Paid in full, both properties clear. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Hartley. You're free. They walked out into sunlight. Free, clear, victorious. The community erupted in cheers. People crowded around them, shaking hands, offering congratulations, celebrating. Doc Sam grabbed Owen's hand, squeezed. You did it, son. Damn me, you actually did it. We did it. All of us. Mary McGregor hugged Eliza. I'm proud of you, girl. Prouder than words can say. They drove home in the wagon, the kids between them, laughing, singing, free. That night, after the kids were asleep, Owen and Eliza stood on the porch, looking out at their land, their home, their future. What do we do now? Eliza asked. Live. Just live. Work the land. Raise the kids. Grow old together if we're lucky. Sounds boring. After the last 2 months, boring sounds perfect. She leaned against him. He put his arm around her. They stood like that as the stars came out, as the night turned cold, as the world kept spinning. They'd fought, they'd bled, they'd almost died, but they'd won. Not because they were stronger than Cyrus, not because they were smarter or richer or better. They'd won because they fought together, because they refused to give up, because love, messy, desperate, imperfect love, was stronger than fear. And that was worth everything. Winter came early that year. Snow fell the week after they paid Cyrus, blanketing the ranch in white that sparkled under pale sun. Owen and Eliza worked from dawn till dark, preparing for the cold months ahead. Splitting wood, storing food, reinforcing the barn against wind that could freeze cattle where they stood. But something had changed. The fear that had lived in Eliza's chest for months was gone, replaced by something she'd forgotten existed. Peace. Not happiness exactly, just the absence of terror. The ability to wake up without immediately counting days till disaster. It felt strange, foreign, like wearing someone else's skin. Jamie noticed first. He came into the kitchen one morning while Eliza was making breakfast, stood watching her for a long moment. You're different, Mama Eliza. She turned from the stove. Different how? You smile now. Real smiles. Not the scared kind. Eliza hadn't realized she'd been doing that. Smiling scared. But hearing Jamie name it made something in her chest crack open. She knelt down, pulled him close. I'm not scared anymore, sweetheart. We're safe now. All of us. Promise? I promise. Jamie hugged her tight, then pulled back, looked at her with those two old eyes. I'm glad Papa married you, even when it was scary. Even when we almost lost everything, I'm glad. Me too, baby. Me too. That afternoon, Doc Sam arrived, rode up on his old mare medical bag strapped behind his saddle. Eliza met him on the porch. Someone sick? No, just making rounds, checking on folks before the passes close. He climbed down stiffly. Also wanted to see how you're settling, after everything. They sat on the porch. Eliza brought coffee. They drank in comfortable silence for a while. Cyrus left, Doc Sam said finally. Took the train east 3 days ago, sold his bank holdings to a group from Helena, packed up and disappeared. Eliza felt nothing, no satisfaction, no relief, just emptiness where anger used to be. Good. He can't hurt anyone else here. He left something for you, asked me to deliver it. Doc Sam pulled an envelope from his coat, said it was an apology for what it's worth. Eliza took the envelope, her name written in careful script on the front. She opened it. Inside was a single sheet of paper and a bank draft. The paper read, I loved Martha. I destroyed her. I tried to do the same to you. I'm sorry. This doesn't fix anything, but it's all I have left to give. The bank draft was for $300, the exact amount the community had lent them. Eliza handed both to Doc Sam. Give the money to Mary McGregor. Tell her to distribute it to everyone who helped us. Tell them it's from us, not Cyrus. I don't want his guilt money. You sure $300 is? I'm sure. We pay our own debts, not with his blood money. Doc Sam nodded, tucked the draft away. You're a hard woman, Eliza Hartley. I'm a woman who survived. That requires hard. Does it? Or does surviving require knowing when to be hard and when to be soft, when to fight and when to forgive? Eliza looked at him, at this old man who'd delivered 5 dead babies, who'd documented abuse he couldn't stop, who'd carried guilt for failures that weren't his to carry. I'll never forgive him for Martha, for what he tried to do to us. But I don't have to. Forgiveness is optional. Survival isn't. Fair enough. Doc Sam stood. I should get moving. Storm's coming tonight. Want to be home before it hits. After he left, Eliza sat alone on the porch, thinking about Cyrus, about Martha, about all the ways people destroyed each other and themselves. She didn't forgive him, probably never would. But she could let go of the anger, could stop letting his shadow darken her life. That evening, the whole family gathered in the kitchen. Owen had spent the day building something in the barn. Wouldn't tell anyone what, just said it was a surprise. After supper, he blindfolded Lily and Jamie, led them outside. Eliza followed curious. Owen had built a sled. Beautiful thing, curved runners, smooth wood. Big enough for both kids. For you, he said, for being brave, for trusting Mama Eliza and me, for surviving all the scary parts. Lily screamed with joy. Jamie grinned so wide his face might split. They dragged the sled to the nearest hill, spent the next hour racing down the slope, laughing, falling, racing again. Eliza stood beside Owen, watching their children play, feeling something so big in her chest she couldn't name it. Thank you, she said. For what? For them. For this. For giving me a family when I thought I'd never have one. Owen pulled her close. You gave us more. You gave us someone to fight for. Someone worth surviving for. That's everything. That night, after the kids were asleep, Owen and Eliza lay in bed. The house creaked in the wind. Snow tapped against the windows. But inside was warm, safe. "I want to do something," Eliza said. "Something important." "What?" "I want to go back to my cabin, to the graves. Say goodbye properly. Then sell the land. Use the money to help other women. Women like Martha. Women trapped with no way out." Owen was quiet for a moment. "That's a big thing. A good thing. But are you sure you're ready to let it go?" "The land. Yes. The memories, no. But I can carry the memories without holding on to the place. Declan would understand. He'd want the land to do some good." "When do you want to go?" "Tomorrow. Before the next storm. Will you come with me?" "Always." They rode out at dawn, left the kids with Mary McGregor, took the wagon because Eliza wanted to bring things back. Personal things she'd left behind when she married Owen in desperation. The cabin looked smaller than she remembered, lonelier. Snow covered the roof and porch. The door hung crooked. One window was broken. Eliza stood in front of it for a long time, just looking, remembering. "You want to go in?" Owen asked. "No. I want to go to the graves first." They walked around back, through deep snow, to the small cemetery Eliza had made. 6 graves, 5 tiny ones in a row, one larger one set apart. Declan Brennan, 1840, 1875, beloved husband. The 5 tiny graves had no markers, just smooth stones. She'd been too broken to carve names after the last one, too defeated to memorialize children who'd never breathed. Eliza knelt in the snow, placed her hand on Declan's stone. It was cold, smooth, real in a way grief never was. "I got married," she said out loud, "to a good man, Owen Hartley. He has 2 kids, Jamie and Lily. They call me Mama now. I think you'd like them. I think you'd like him." The wind blew, snow swirled. Declan didn't answer. Dead men never did. "I'm selling the cabin, using the money to help women who need it. I think that's what you'd want. You always said the land should work for people, not the other way around." She touched each tiny grave, one by one. "Thomas, Michael, Catherine, Sarah, James. I'm sorry I couldn't save you. Sorry I couldn't be the mother you needed. But I'm not cursed. I know that now. You died because frontier life is hard, and babies die, and sometimes there's no reason. No curse, just terrible luck." She stood, turned to Owen. "I'm ready." "You sure?" "I'm sure. This is a graveyard, not a shrine. I can honor them without living here." They went inside the cabin. Eliza gathered her things, a few books, her mother's wedding ring, the box with the baby clothes, Declan's mining helmet. Everything else could stay, could burn or rot or become home to mice. It didn't matter. The past was the past. As they loaded the wagon, a rider appeared. Young man Eliza didn't recognize. He pulled up, looked at the cabin. "This place for sale." Eliza blinked. "How did you—" "Heard in town. Doc Sam said you might be selling. I'm looking for land. Got a wife and baby. Living in a boarding house. Desperate for our own place." "You have money." "Some, not much, but I'm a hard worker. I can pay in installments if you'll let me." Eliza looked at Owen. He nodded. "What's your name?" she asked. "Henry. Henry Walsh." "You married Henry?" "Yes, ma'am. Wife's name is Alice. Baby's name is Rose." "Rose still alive?" He looked confused. "Yes, ma'am. 6 months old. Healthy as a horse." Eliza felt tears coming, pushed them down. "Good. That's good. The cabin's yours. $50 down. Rest when you can pay it. No interest, no deadline. Just take care of the place. And Henry." "Yes, ma'am." "Those graves out back, they stay. You maintain them, keep them clear. That's part of the deal." "Yes, ma'am. I will." They rode away. Eliza didn't look back. Couldn't. If she looked back, she might change her mind. Might realize she was giving away the only piece of Declan she had left. But forward was better than back. Living was better than haunting. And those graves would be tended by a family who knew how precious life was. That mattered. They got home at dusk. The kids ran out to meet them. Lily grabbed Eliza's hand. "Did you cry?" "A little, but happy tears too." "How can tears be happy and sad?" "Because people are complicated, sweetheart. We can feel two things at once. Sad about what's gone. Happy about what's here." That made sense to Lily in the way only 6-year-olds could understand. She nodded solemnly. "Okay. I'm glad you're home." "Me too, baby." Christmas came 2 weeks later. The first Christmas Eliza had celebrated in 3 years. She'd spent the past 2 alone in her cabin, refusing joy, refusing hope, refusing everything except survival. But this year was different. This year, she had family. This year, she had a reason to celebrate. They didn't have much money. Most of it went to supplies and feed for the cattle. But Owen carved toys. A horse for Jamie. A doll for Lily. Eliza sewed clothes. A new shirt for Owen. Dresses for the kids. Christmas morning was chaos. The kids screamed with joy. Played with their toys till they broke them, then played with them broken. Ate too much. Laughed too loud. Filled the house with noise and life. Eliza watched from the kitchen. Overwhelmed. Grateful. Terrified she'd wake up and discover it was all a dream. Owen found her there. Wrapped his arms around her from behind. "You okay?" "I'm scared." "Of what?" "Of losing this. Of something happening. Of God or fate or whatever deciding I've been happy long enough and taking it all away." "That's not how it works." "Isn't it? I was happy with Declan. Lost him. I was happy pregnant. Lost all 5 babies. Every time I find something good, it gets ripped away." Owen turned her around. Made her look at him. "Or, every time you lost something, you survived. Built something new. Found a way forward. Maybe that's the pattern. Not loss, survival, endurance, becoming stronger every time." "I don't want to be strong. I want to be happy." "Then be happy, right now, in this moment. Don't borrow tomorrow's pain. Just be here. With me. With them. Be happy." Eliza closed her eyes, breathed. Let herself feel the warmth, the noise, the life happening all around her. "Okay," she whispered. "I'll try." That afternoon there was a knock on the door. Eliza opened it. Found Abigail Marsh standing there. The woman looked uncomfortable, scared, holding a basket covered with cloth. "Mrs. Hartley, may I come in?" Eliza wanted to say no, wanted to slam the door. But something in Abigail's face stopped her. Vulnerability, shame. "Come in." They sat at the kitchen table. Owen took the kids outside to play in the snow. Give them privacy. Abigail set down the basket. "I brought bread and preserves for Christmas." "Thank you. I also came to apologize for the things I said, the things I did. Bringing the church to your home. Judging you. All of it. I was wrong." Eliza said nothing, just waited. "I was married once," Abigail continued. "Long time ago, back east. He drank, hit me, I left, ran away in the night, came here to start over. The town never knew. I built a reputation as a proper woman, a moral woman. But inside I was terrified someone would find out, would see the truth. That I was a woman who'd failed at marriage, who'd abandoned her husband." "You didn't abandon him. You escaped." "I know that now. But then I thought I was cursed, broken. So I judged everyone else, made myself feel better by tearing others down. You reminded me of myself, strong, independent, refusing to break. I hated you because I hated that part of me. Eliza looked at this woman who'd been her enemy, saw the pain there, the regret. I forgive you, she said. Simple. True. Abigail's eyes filled with tears. Just like that. Just like that. Life's too short for grudges. Too hard for more enemies. You want to start over. We start over. Thank you. Abigail stood. I should go. But if you ever need anything, if you ever want to talk, I'm here. After she left, Owen came back inside. What was that about? Redemption. Hers or mine, I'm not sure. Does it matter? No, I guess it doesn't. The winter passed slow, cold days and colder nights. But the house was warm, full. The kids grew. Jamie shot up 3 inches. Lily learned to read. Both of them thrived in ways they hadn't before. And one morning in late February, Eliza woke up sick, stomach churning, head spinning. She barely made it outside before she vomited. Owen found her on the porch, pale, shaking. You okay? I don't know. I feel... She stopped, counted backwards, realized. Oh God. What? I'm late. My monthly. I'm 3 weeks late. Owen's face went pale. You think? I don't know. Maybe. I've been late before. It doesn't always mean... She couldn't finish, couldn't say the word. Pregnant. She'd been pregnant 5 times, lost all 5. Couldn't survive a 6th loss, couldn't bear to hope. We should see Doc Sam, Owen said. Get you checked. No, not yet. I can't if he confirms it and I lose it again. Eliza? Please, give me a few weeks. Let me be sure before we make it real. Owen pulled her close. She could feel his heart racing, feel his fear matching hers. 2 weeks later, there was no denying it. The sickness got worse. Her breasts swelled. She was pregnant. Definitely. Terrifyingly. She told Owen on a Sunday morning, after the kids left for their riding lesson with Samuel Cooper. She just said it flat. No emotion. No hope. I'm pregnant. Owen froze, then grabbed her, held her so tight she couldn't breathe. A baby. We're having a baby. I might lose it. I lost all the others. This one might, or this one might live. You're stronger now. You're not alone. You're not starving or working yourself to death or bleeding out alone in a cabin. You have help. You have me. You have Doc Sam. This time is different. What if it's not? Then we'll survive it, together. But what if it is different? What if this baby lives? What if we get to hold them and raise them and watch them grow? Isn't that possibility worth the risk? Eliza wanted to believe him, wanted to hope, but hope was terrifying. Hope was dangerous. Still, she nodded. Okay. We try. We hope. And if I lose it, we'll grieve together, but we won't give up before we've even started. Doc Sam confirmed it 2 days later, examined her thoroughly, asked about her history, the 5 losses, the causes if she knew them. You're about 8 weeks along, he said. Baby's heartbeat is strong. Everything looks good. But I want to see you every 2 weeks. Monitor closely. Make sure you rest. Eat well. Don't work yourself ragged. I have a ranch to run. You have a husband to run the ranch. You have kids who can do chores. Your job now is to grow this baby. Understand? She understood. But understanding and obeying were different things. The months passed in a blur of fear and wonder. Her belly grew. The baby moved, kicked, real in a way the others had never become. They'd all died before the quickening, before she could feel them move. But this one was alive, active, fighting to exist. Jamie and Lily were thrilled, argued over names, argued over whether it would be a boy or girl, made plans for teaching the baby to ride and read and catch fish. Eliza let them plan, Let herself imagine a future where this baby lived, where she got to be a mother to a living child. It was the hardest thing she'd ever done. Harder than burying 5 babies. Harder than losing Declan. Harder than fighting Cyrus. Hoping was hardest of all. She went into labor on a September morning. Early. 2 weeks before Doc Sam expected. The pain hit fast and hard. No warning. Just agony that doubled her over. Owen got her to bed, sent Jamie for Doc Sam, sent Lily to Mary McGregor, then sat beside Eliza holding her hand while she screamed. Doc Sam arrived within an hour, examined her. His face was grave. "Baby's coming. Now. No time to wait." "Is it, will it?" "I don't know, Eliza. Baby's early, but not too early. We just have to see." The labor lasted 6 hours. Brutal hours. Eliza screamed, cursed, begged God to let this one live. Just this one. Please. Owen held her hand through all of it. Let her squeeze till his bones creaked. Whispered encouragement. Prayed out loud when she couldn't. And then finally the baby came, in a rush of fluid and blood and pain. Silence. Terrible silence. Eliza's heart stopped. Not again. Please God, not again. Then a cry. Thin. Weak. But real. A baby's cry. Doc Sam held up the baby. Tiny. Red. Screaming. "It's a girl. And she's alive." Eliza sobbed. Great heaving sobs that shook her whole body. Owen cried too. Just held Eliza and cried like a child. Doc Sam cleaned the baby, wrapped her, placed her in Eliza's arms. "She's small, but she's strong. Got good lungs, good color. I think she's gonna make it." Eliza looked at the tiny face, at the eyes that couldn't focus yet, at the impossibly small fingers wrapped around her thumb. "Hope," she whispered. "Her name is Hope." Owen touched the baby's head. "Hope Brennan Hartley." Brennan. For Declan. He'd want that. Eliza's throat closed. Yeah, he would. They sat there for a long time. Just the 3 of them. A family that shouldn't exist. That had fought and bled and survived against all odds. Hope fell asleep in Eliza's arms. Owen leaned his head against Eliza's shoulder. Outside, the Montana sky turned gold, then pink, then purple as the sun set. Doc Sam packed his instruments. "I'll check on you tomorrow. But Eliza, you did it. You grew a living baby. You're not cursed. Never were." After he left, Jamie and Lily came home. Mary McGregor brought them. They stood in the doorway, wide-eyed, scared to come closer. "Come meet your sister," Owen said. They crept forward. Looked at the tiny bundle. "She's so small," Jamie whispered. "She'll grow," Eliza said. "Just like you did." "What's her name?" Lily asked. "Hope." Lily smiled. "That's perfect, because we hoped for her, and she came." That night the whole family slept in one room. Owen and Eliza in bed with Hope between them. Jamie and Lily on bedrolls nearby. All of them together. Safe. Whole. Eliza lay awake long after everyone else slept, watching Hope breathe, counting each tiny breath, terrified she'd stop. But she didn't stop, just kept breathing, kept living, kept proving that sometimes miracles happened. Sometimes hope wasn't foolish. Sometimes survival meant more than just enduring. Sometimes it meant thriving. The years ahead would be hard. They'd face droughts and winters and all the challenges frontier life threw at families. But they'd face them together. Owen and Eliza, Jamie and Lily, baby Hope. A family built from loss and desperation and stubborn, foolish hope. And that was worth everything.